If anyone asks me what the best Christmas movie is, I usually say Home Alone or Home Alone 2. I, like many others, grew up with these two classic films. The plot revolves around a super precocious boy who probably has a genius IQ despite being ornery, who fights with his family and wishes they were gone so he could live alone. When he wakes up, he finds that they're gone. It turns out they accidentally left him at home while they went off on vacation. He mistakenly believes he wished them out of existence. At first, he's ecstatic, but eventually he grows to miss them. Meanwhile, there's a guy next door who is either a serial killer or just a nice misunderstood man, and two robbers waiting to rob his house. Why are these films classics? Well, let me give you my own personal reasons why I love them. Macaulay Kulkin is plain and simply the greatest child actor who ever lived. He got his start as a cute little kid in Uncle Buck, but this was his first real starring role. He does a masterclass in acting. Somehow he manages to be both a sarcastic, smart-aleck brat, while at the same time being warm and lovable at the same time. These should be oxymorons, but he pulls off both perfectly. It's one thing to be cute and another to be a smart-aleck, but to combine the both is unheard of. I can't think of another performance where this is done. And guess what? This isn't even his best performance. His best was in a mostly unknown thriller called The Good Son, where Mac plays the most evil child you ever seen on screen. Check it out immediately. To me, Kevin McAllister is the best child character in film. Number 2, The Concept. This is a universal film because no matter how old you are, everyone at one time or another was a child. And even the most polite child gets sick of being told what to do and wish they could either be grown up themselves or that they didn't have to listen to their parents. Of course, we fail to see the big picture. Who's going to pay the taxes? What about when the food runs out? Who's going to take care of you when you're sick and all that? But all of us felt we were mistreated no matter how happy our homes were. And this film shows us what would happen. In other words, be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. The film was directed by Chris Columbus. No, not that guy. This guy. He was given the film as a consolation prize by writer John Hughes, after he was supposed to direct another Christmas classic, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, but was treated rudely by Chevy Chase and quit. Columbus would later go on to do the Harry Potter series, and more importantly to me, Mrs. Doubtfire. And he also discovered America. Just kidding. But to me, this is a John Hughes film. Hughes was a huge director and writer in his time. His films generally fall into two camps, usually either coming-of-age teen dramedies, like The Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, and Pretty in Pink, or family movies with an edge like Home Alone and Home Alone 2. But he also had other winners like Uncle Buck, Dennis the Menace, Beethoven, National Lampoon's Vacation and Christmas Vacation, and the remake of Miracle on 34th Street. He was a brilliant writer who combined cynical sarcasm with heartwarming themes. Don't go away. After a brief commercial, I will show you the very best thing about these films. Okay, here's the thing. Do you like horror movies, cute dog videos, music including rock, rap, and classical, baseball, Star Wars, or DBZ? Well, come here to the Hillbilly Review channel, the only place you can find all that crap under one channel. Like and subscribe. I'm not too proud to beg. And if you only like one of those topics, go to one of my detailed playlists to find the topic you want. Let's get with it. But of course, what everyone remembers most is the traps. Harry and Marv are two robbers who want to rob Kevin's house. Little do they know, Kevin is no ordinary kid, and he's probably already at 8 years old smarter than both of them put together. Harry was played by Joe Pesci, who is a longtime star of gangster flicks like Casino, Goodfellas, and Raging Bull. I'm surprised he didn't get withdrawal from not being able to use an F-bomb. And his sidekick, Marv, is played by comedy star Daniel Stern. Oddly enough, Stern actually turned the part down originally. But after his replacement had no chemistry with Pesci, they basically begged him to come back, and he did. This is his most famous role. Despite the fact that Marv is tall and Harry is short, Harry is clearly the brains of the operation because, well, Marv is pretty stupid. But he's lovable anyway. Kevin turns his house into a fun house of horror, and he tortures the ne'er-do-wells with one sadistic trap after another. Obviously, this is the best part of both films. I would often just skip the whole films just to see the traps at the end. I'm surprised Jigsaw didn't make him his protege. There's also some really cool gangster flicks Kevin watches, and he uses them to trick people into staying away from him. The films aren't actually films, but were made specifically for the movies. Keep the change, you filthy animal. And finally, the music is absolutely beautiful and breathtaking. Sometimes creepy, and other times tender and lovely, or even sad and melancholic. It was done by John Williams, the greatest film composer who ever lived, who is also famous for Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones, Jaws, and many other classic scores. This may be a hot take, but to me the sequel, Lost in New York, is ever so slightly better than the original. I have to admit I'm probably the only person who thinks this, though. Generally speaking, it's considered a good film, but many say that it's just a cut-and-paste ripoff of the original. Not even a sequel, but more of a remake that just takes the original film and puts it in New York instead. Well, I can see that argument, but I take a different approach. To me, it takes what we all loved about the first film and then made it bigger and better, with more elaborate traps and jokes. Oh yeah, the real Pennywise is here too. And there's also a pretty famous cameo. Who is that guy? As for the sequels, well, there's a reason why most people have only seen the first two. I consider the first two to be classics. The third film, featuring a new cast, is not terrible, but it's not any good either. Alex Lins is a decent little actor, but there's only one Macaulay Kulkin. The rest of them are generic garbage. You might think Kevin wishing his family gone in the first one makes him a brat, but you're wrong. He has every right to want them gone. His family treats him like crap, especially his hateful older brother Buzz and his verbally abusive Uncle Frank. Even his mom, the one who loves him the most, is far from patient with him. And when they do something to him and he fights back, he always gets in trouble just for defending himself. And by the way, he should be taken away by Child Protective Services. It's one thing to leave your kid on vacation on accident. That's bad enough. But in a high-stress situation, well, maybe. But then you lose him again, and he ends up in one of the most dangerous and dirty cities in America. I mean, come on. Kevin deserves better parents. Oh yeah, one more thing. I have a great idea for a Legacy sequel. The reason the rest of them didn't work out was because Macaulay Culkin wasn't there, because he grew too old for the role. Speaking of which, I'm surprised he didn't become a big star when he got older. Anyway, here's my idea. He's now, instead of a cute kid, he's an old fart. A grandpa living with relatives. They go off on vacation. He doesn't get left behind. He just doesn't want to go. And then he is attacked by the grandson of Harry or Marv, and has to come out of retirement to do business with them again after all these years. What do you think?